Heritage October US Coins Signature Auction included important selections from the Maurice Storck collection, including some coins that were last publicly offered in 1954 during the landmark King Farouk sale in Egypt. 1968 was an eventful year for the US Mint, particularly for the San Francisco branch mint, as it reopened and started coining operations again in earnest after a hiatus of almost 13 years. It also took over as the primary proof coin minting facility from Philadelphia to start making proof sets again after those had not been made for almost 3 years, following the coinage shortage of earlier in that same decade. During all of this commotion and fanfare, a few mistakes crept in, as one could expect, and one of the more spectacular was minting a proof dime without the normal S mint mark that should be on all proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint. The current example was graded by PCGS as proof 67 cameo and sold at auction for $19,200. Up next are a couple of California fractional gold coins, starting with an extremely rare $quarter coin, one of the undated Round Liberty designs. To date, this is the only known coin like this at either PCGS or NGC, and the J. Rowe collection is said to have contained another example, with this coin coming from the Storck collection. Graded by NGC as MS63, the coin sold at auction for $20,400. And again, another piece of California gold that is equally as rare, with the current example of this BG516 $1 type, dated 1853, being the sole example graded at either PCGS or NGC. And just as with the previous coin also, the J. Rowe specimen is not graded but is estimated to be at a level of around VF35, making the current MS61 grade from NGC quite spectacular indeed. This coin too fell under the auctioneer's gavel for $20,400. Now, this is a really cool coin. What we have is, on the surface of it at least, an 1829 Liberty Head large cent with some very unusual coloration and streaking. But this is not from an improperly mixed alloy or a planchet error. No, instead, what this is a very rare bronzed proof strike. You see, the Philadelphia Mint was still using a technique where they were treating copper planchets with a bronzing powder prior to striking the coin. This was a fairly common practice for striking medals at the time, but to see this on a proof cent is highly unusual. The flange streaks and highlights, especially on the obverse of the coin, is due to the uneven application of this powder. Authenticated by PCGS as proof 64, the coin sold at auction for $31,200. Of the various private and territorial gold coins struck in the first half of the 19th century, the Mormon gold coins are arguably amongst the most intriguing, struck from gold dust collected chiefly along the American River in California by members of the Mormon Battalion returning home from their service in the Mexican War. Issued under the direction of Brigham Young, although struck from native gold, they did suffer from impurities and inconsistent weights as well, causing the coins to be accepted only at a significant discount outside of the Mormon community itself. This is a very seldomly seen $2.50 coin dated 1849 that PCGS graded as AU55, and it sold at auction for $57,600. Now, the flowing hair silver dollar is one of the most sought after coins in the history of the US Mint. The very genesis of the silver dollar program lies within this coin, only struck for 2 years in 1794 and 1795, and with the 1794 coin having a meager mintage of only 1,758 coins, the 1795 represents really the only collectible collectible version of the coin that is available to the vast majority of collectors. A beautiful example with absolutely immaculate obverse details is presented here, of the 3 leaves variety that depicts 3 leaves below the eagle's wing instead of only 2. Graded by PCGS as MS62, this iconic piece of American numismatic history managed to raise a price of $90,000 at auction. And just to quickly place that into its proper context, there was also an actual 1794 flowing hair dollar available at the auction, although this was in obviously a significantly worse grade. As a matter of fact, it only managed to get a details grade from PCGS for VF because of tooling marks. But a genuine 1794 flowing hair dollar is still a 1794 flowing hair dollar. So even with the details grade, it still managed to get a closing price at auction of $84,000. Carson City Gold, especially the double eagles, hold a unique place within the minds of most collectors, standing as a symbol of this Western frontier mint, a tangible relic of the pioneering age that so captures the imagination to this very day. Seen here is a variety 1A example of the 1882 Carson City Gold $20, identified by the vertical strike that appears just in front of Liberty's eye on the obverse, as well as a notable die scratch that runs from the L all the way above the A and R in dollars. An incredible offering of this top-grade PCGS MS63 coin that closed at auction for $96,000. Another coin from the Storck collection is this fascinating 1795 13 leaves variety gold eagle. This is not only the very first year of issue for this coin, but also the very first year that the US Mint was striking gold coins at all. Although as a BD2 variety, it's very likely that this was one of the coins delivered only in March of 1796 instead. It's fascinating to study these, especially the higher grade examples such as this coin, as you can truly learn a lot about not only the minting process itself, but also the conditions inside the mint during those early years by doing so. Clear adjustment marks are seen throughout the details of the obverse design, and of course the reverse has the now trademark softness in the breast of the eagle. It was all really a part of the learning curve. They hadn't quite figured out the correct striking conditions for gold yet, as it is very different from striking either silver or copper coins. Graded by PCGS as MS61 with the coveted CAC endorsement, this beautiful example sold at auction for $162,000. Subscribe to WNN and activate notifications with the bell icon to know when new videos are released. For the World Numismatic News, I am Numisman saying thank you for watching. Stay safe, keep collecting, and have a fantastic day.